The acidic property, correct? Yeah, the acid strength of the trioxide. Acid strength of, we just now did, right? The trioxide and all of these things, that thing. Am I audible now to everyone? Am I audible to everyone, or how is it? Wait, let me check now. Am I audible now, Rohan? Perfect. Okay, audible. Okay. So acid strength of what? Trioxide. Trioxide. We just now did one table, no? That same thing only. In that, it is N2O3 greater than P2O3 greater than arsenic, As2O3. Why? Only one reason. Size of the central atom is more, correct? So electronegativity of the central atom decreases. Electronegativity of the central atom decreases. That's all. Now, if I take, this is, one is trioxide. Suppose you want to take pentoxides. One is trioxide here. If I want to take acid strength of what? Pentaoxides. Pentaoxides. Okay, so that if I want to write here, N2O5 greater than P2O5 greater than As2O5 greater than, I'll write what? Antimony and bismuth, obviously. Sb2O5. Why? The reason is same. Electronegativity of the central atom decreases. That's it. Same reason. So these arrangements we have to keep in mind. Very important. Again, compare and study. Trioxide, pentoxide, it is same. Okay. Fine. So coming to the acid strength of what? Trioxide, pentoxide is there. Suppose this is between the various elements in that group 15, right? Suppose I want to do it with what? Acidic strength of various oxides of what? Oxides of nitrogen. So how to compare this? So this is nothing but what? This is just the opposite of this. N2O5 greater than N2O4 is greater than what? N2O3 greater than NO greater than N2O. Why it is like this? Because the oxidation state of the central atom increases. The oxidation state, why this is happening? Oxidation state of the central atom increases. Central atom increases. Hence, acid strength of oxides of nitrogen are increasing in this order. Fine. So I hope everyone has written down this. Properties of halides. Let me draw the table for this. properties of halides. So I think everyone knows what is a halogen: chlorine, fluorine, bromine. Okay, and obviously iodine also is there. I'm just going to discuss this halogen thing. Okay, fine. Property. So first thing I'll write down the stability of trihalides. This will be fine. If I write down here, Y. Stability of trihalides of nitrogen. Trihalides of nitrogen. Okay, yeah. NF3 greater than NCl3 greater than NBr3. Trihalides of nitrogen. Why this is like this? Because of the large size difference between nitrogen and the other halogen. Why this is like this? Because of large size difference. Large size difference. Basically, it is the size difference between nitrogen and the halogen. So whenever you're studying also, please draw the table and then study. Don't learn it in paragraph by paragraph. Then one more important parameter is, let's take the Lewis base strength. So in textbooks and all, this won't be this clear. Okay. So that's the reason I am putting in table, putting the extra effort and giving you all of these things. So this is of the order what I'll write down here. NF3 instead of greater than, I will put less than symbol. NCl3 less than Ni3. This is due to what? Decreasing electronegativity of halogen. Decreasing electronegativity. Electronegativity of halogen. So if I want to take the bond angle, okay, if I want to take the bond angle, because I'm only discussing the important things which has come for the exam. Okay, yeah. So let's take the bond angle of, I will take phosphorus here. Yes, phosphorus halides. Bond angle of P halides, phosphorus halides. Same thing, instead of N, I'll write P. PF3 less than PCl3 less than PBr3. So here I forgot to write the NBr3. Okay, NBr3. The same one, less than Pi3. This is again due to what? Bond pair repulsion. Okay, or else you can say increase electronegativity in this. You can just write down due to the decreased, due to decrease bond pair BP. My P is not proper. Yeah, B bond pair repulsion. Decreasing of decrease bond pair repulsion. Clear? Yeah. Fine. Let me save it. So once the class is over, I'll share it with everyone. Okay. The screenshots. But it's very important that we write down this is running notes too. So let me see the formation of ammonia gas. NH3. ammonia. I think everyone knows about it. Haber's process. Haber's process. Yes, simple thing. N2 plus 3H2 in equilibrium will be giving what? 2NH3. 2NH3. And we'll be getting enthalpy. Delta H is equal to minus 92 kilojoules. Delta H is something but what? Enthalpy, the heat. Correct? Yes. So the important things to note down in this is fine. But how to remember the Haber's process, the formation of ammonia, the key points to note. Low temperature, high pressure, and the catalyst used. Catalyst. What is the catalyst? Iron oxide. Correct. I'll write down here. Iron oxide. Potassium oxide, Al2O3. Al2O3. And what is this? A promoter? Promoter in the sense to increase the speed of the reaction. Promoter. Molybdenum. MO. Okay. And some more important points or the use of ammonia. Okay. So a very important thing in the detection of metal ions. Very important this is. The detection of metal ions. Such as Cu2 plus and Ag plus. So this is very important. Okay, so suppose if I add ammonia, Cu2 plus ammonia, I'm not writing the balanced one, I'm just writing on the general thing, will be giving me what? Cu NH3 4 times and 2 plus complex salt. Yes, and this color will be what? Deep blue color. Deep blue color. So if anyone want me to balance, I'll just put 4 here. Okay, the balancing thing. So if it gives deep blue, yes, so it indicates the presence of what? Cu2 plus metal ions in this. Next one, Ag plus. So Cu2 plus, what is the color? Blue. Okay, this I forgot, right? Yeah, Ag plus is what? It is colorless. It is colorless. Ag plus is colorless. Yes. And this, if I treat with chlorine, I'll be getting what? AgCl. AgCl is nothing but it's a white precipitate. It's a white precipitate, PPT, white precipitate. So if I treat this AgCl with ammonia, if I treat this AgCl with ammonia, I'll be getting a complex ion again here. AgNH3 twice Cl. AgNH3 twice Cl. Again, this is what? Colorless. Colorless. Just like this. Copper ions is blue in color. Blue in color. Copper ions is blue in color for this. Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly go to the next one. Okay. Yeah. Formation of nitric acid. Formation of nitric acid. Yes. I think everyone knows what is HNO3. HNO3, nitric acid. And if you ask me what is the shape of this thing, planar molecule. Planar molecule. So all of these things we have to remember. Okay, correct. And how do we produce nitric acid? Through Ostwald process. Ostwald process. Okay, so the basic equation is here. I think we would have studied this also in the lower class, Ostwald process. So ammonia when treated with oxygen. So I'm not going to balance it and write down. So it'll give me what? NO and water. So if I treat this NO again with oxygen, it'll be giving me what? NO2. This NO2, if I treat with water, I'll be getting HNO3. This NO2, if I treat with water, yes, I'll be getting what? HNO3 plus nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide, I'm not writing it because our main product here is what? Nitric acid. Nitric acid. So in the lab, how many of you have done the brown ring test? In the lab, brown ring test. Okay, perfect. I think Rohan has raised the hand. So I think, oh, Prithvi, Jason. Okay, fine. So what is the purpose of brown ring test? What is the use of this brown ring test? To detect the presence of nitrate ion, right? To detect the presence of nitrate ion. So this we have to remember. Very good. Yes, it will be a highly complex compound, correct? Yeah, but this is important for us. Brown ring test to detect the presence of nitrate ion.